Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to kick back, get that beach chair up, look out at the ocean, grab out that cooler, that little Corona, crook it open, take a drink. Oh, no, we're not talking about that type of Corona. Today, we're talking about Corona POS, spelled totally different, but focused on retail. And liquor stores would be one of those type of retail. You never know. You might buy some Coronas with some Coronas. But to bring us all the information when it comes to POS Uncensored, we bring on the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Matt Proctor. Matt, I'm assuming you haven't had any Coronas over there today, but maybe you're selling some Coronas. How's life on the other side of Indianapolis?
No Coronas yet today, buddy, but life is great. Life is great. And our partnership with Corona is amazing. So I'm excited to revisit Corona with everyone today and really go through some of the highlights and some of the amazing merchants that we have been able to sell and put on Corona and convert over to Corona over the last couple of years. So right. I'm ready.
Yeah. So, and if you want to learn today, I think 4 or 5 months ago, we went through a slide deck of Corona. Today, we're going to kind of use the website, have more of a discussion as a guide. Because one, I want to give them honor for having one of the better websites of point of sale companies, especially ones that we can sell. They have lots and lots of content that I think will be helpful to you as partners. Two, we don't need to go through the systematic. We've done that. There's not a new slide deck at this point. There is a big, hairy question I always get asked. I've been asked at least twice in the last 2 weeks by some partners. When are we getting dual pricing? Let's start with that because it doesn't have full dual pricing. It has cash discount. Where are we? What have we learned from Corona? What's our expectation?
The last that they have told me for everyone out there is it's supposed to be ready by Q4. I'm hoping it's earlier because we're right there. Like it's time now for Q4. So I will continue to bug them and to make sure that we get that dual pricing fixed because most of our merchants are doing cash discount on Corona. I think we've only had one ever that didn't do it. But some people don't like that. They don't like to have to do the traditional cash discounting where it's card price and it goes down. So they know the need is there. And I'll reach back out again. I'm just going to keep hounding them. So we get it definitely.
So I know that's a question. We'll take care of that one off the top. Now let's go over to their screen over here or to their website. Let me just give them props. One, most of our POS have some type of direct channel. I think there are very few of them that don't have inside and outside sales. Corona is certainly that. And this website is driven to try to drive those inside sales, but they're also very clear that they have multiple options of processing. And I'll let Matt speak later that the protection we have with our reseller agreement with them. But I will say this, they have an excellent website. Their website talks about the reviews. It gives all kinds of customer stories. It has videos. And what I think is one of the more best ways to look over is go over here to their resources, get their free guides and ebooks and their product demo videos. It's very strong. They're very good to look at. We'll highlight those a little later. But Matt, let's just talk about they say their retail, QSR, and ticketing. How are we using them? What are the main features and the reason we're choosing to use Korona right now for partners that are selling it?
So retail is obviously our number one focus, as well as a few ticketing opportunities, and I'd love to have more. So if you guys are out and about, don't be afraid to go into the local museum, to go into the aquarium or the zoo, whatever it might be, so that we can get in front of them for the ticketing option. No QSR yet. We have not really touched QSR because we have so many other systems that they're built for that, and they do QSR really well. But it's mainly been retail and a lot of liquor stores, Nate. They actually do smoke and vape shops extremely well. We've got a few franchises on with Korona. And then I have local liquor stores here where we've got all 7 of their locations on the Korona POS, and they do that really well. And remember, everyone, not every retail system can do liquor stores, can do the case breakdowns and the multi-layered discounting that they do, as well as lottery and things like that. So that's been a big win for us. They do have open APIs. They do have scan data, which is very unique for tobacco. So we've been able to win a lot of business there. And people find it much more user-friendly, and the support's been amazing. So whether we're switching them and upgrading them from a Clover, or we're taking them away from Lightspeed or Liquor POS, the ease of use has been a big win for us. And I think you see right there on the website. I mean,
yeah. Well, and I think one of the things I'll show, this is the keys for your museum point of sale. I don't know of any of our other systems, maybe you can correct me, Matt, if I'm wrong, that advertises that they are a museum point of sale. They have integrated into the largest museums, some of, around the world. As we told the story before, Korona started in Germany, came to the U.S., I forget how many years ago, based out of Las Vegas. And I mean, look at the fact that you can do ticketing and membership and promotions and discounts and group rates and things that are tied to none of our other systems. Plus, then you can manage the whole gift shop very, very well. That's a unique set apart. And there are a lot of, you just think about how many museums there are in cities. Yeah. Like here in Indianapolis, I think of the big ones, the Children's Museum, the Art Museum, but there's probably 250 museums that, some have 100 visitors a week and some have 10,000 visitors or 100,000 visitors a week, even zoos, yeah. All those things. There's so many options there, right, Matt?
Right. And some of them, like you said, they could be small. It could be Thomas Jefferson's little museum or whatever. But I'm taking my son to St. Louis for a little father-son trip this year. And you better believe in Forest Park, they've got their museums right there. So I'm going to look and see kind of how they're doing their business. How, where are they using the gift shop? Do they do anything like that where they need memberships or ticketing? So it's kind of opened my eyes too, because you're right, Nate, we never have had anything like this in the past. It's just pretty much been retail, a restaurant or salon, those specific industries. But this kind of opens up a new avenue for us, which is great. So looking forward to talking to more of them.
Yeah. Well, and I was looking at this event management that they're highlighting here. Event sales on multiple channels, so you can sell on online and in person and manage all the tickets, easily integrate inventory management for events when you're doing. There's things that it just does that are really, really impressive, and I can't wait to see what you guys do with it. Matt, talk about maybe some of our specific merchants. You said liquor stores. Is there something that sets them apart that makes the ease of use that they enjoy, that you're getting a 7-location liquor store?
And it's sad but good, and I've had to switch some of our retail merchants from one of our systems over to Korona because of how good their support is. And we don't talk about this enough, but their partnership with Be Loyal. Okay, so if you guys ever want to look that up, Be Loyal is like a 5-star. It's a phenomenal CRM software. They've been partnered with Korona for over a decade now, and it's right there on the screen. But I apologize, Nate. That's been kind of a game changer, because the merchants that we have with Korona usually want a very good loyalty program. They want a good CRM. They want to track their customer database, send out text and emails, where they can add that marketing piece in there to help grow their business. And Korona has that through Be Loyal. So that's been a big selling point for us. And Nate, you and I still need to go over and grab a bottle of tequila or something and watch them ring it up in person at our liquor stores. But yeah, I can't say enough about the support. I mean, when you work with me and my team for over 2 years now, and Till's a good friend of mine. I know all those guys at Corona. I was in their office a few months back. We've had one cancellation over 2 years. That's unheard of. And that's because they went out of business. And that's it. So even when we've had an issue, they step on it right away and get on with the merchant and help them out and get things fixed. And that's all you can ask for in a good point of sale.
It is. And here I'll bring up the screen again. Some of their third-party integrations. Some of these are payment integrations and some of the things I'm seeing, but also a lot of things. I see the Be Loyal and some of the other, bottle caps. I'm not familiar with that. I'm sure there's other things you can connect, including WooCommerce, other things they've already connected to. There's so many different ways. Whoops. See, don't get fancy on your, but
I didn't see QuickBooks Online, but that's one of them too.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's not in a direct integration. Here's they integrate with City Hive, which is the one that runs, I notice, all of our local apps for the liquor stores here in Indianapolis. I know I've seen that the City Hive.
And they got Card Market. They've always been good partners with Card Market for gift cards.
Yep. So I think there's so much more we can do. Other things you would want to highlight from what they do, what sets Corona apart?
Well, and this is different than our other retail systems. And you guys anybody who's watching or has done deals with me in the past, we have Retail Cloud now, Greta that we talked about. Obviously, we have Paradise that works well, but this is our only system that can work with existing merchant software. And sometimes that's a deal changer. Sometimes they just bought this, PC or whatever they have, and they're like, I need something to work on this. Or they're using their old QuickBooks POS, whatever it might be. So all we need to do is get them a demo, find out the make and model, and we just confirm that with Corona. But we have set up several accounts where all we needed was to get them maybe a couple peripherals. Maybe we just need to get them a couple credit card machines, and they can use the Corona software. So that's one thing that sets them apart. The other thing, and I think this is maybe even bigger, they give a demo account to our merchants. So if we do a demo and they like it, everything looks good, maybe they've got 7 location vape shops, and they're like, this is a big change. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Merchant, why don't we get you set up with a demo account? You can play with the software. You can add in your own inventory, put your employees in. As long as you want, you can play with it. And then what's great is that when they're ready to go live then with hardware, and we send out the DocuSigns, they can take that demo account and turn it into their live account, so they didn't waste a bunch of time and have to re-input everything. So demo account and being able to use existing hardware set them apart, hands down, from some of our other softwares.
I love that. Well, and let me go over here. I'm going to work on the screen here for a second and working to go back, but I want to highlight some things that you guys can find over here. And I'm going to get to the lead screens. There we go. One of the things under this resources is one of the cool. Yep, you see it now. So one of the resources, the blog is very good. The e-guide, I'm going to click on the guides and books. You can download these guides on how to be credit card processing, e-guide, retail inventory, franchise, Corona Studio guidebook, which is, there's several things that are interesting that could be helpful in your sales process. But then what I think is also is they put their whole POS manual here where you can get all the bells and whistles. And I thought it was interesting. You can also look and, hey, how have they updated? They have the release notes for every major release they've done. And so you can kind of see what some of those things are and how to do employee management and how to do evaluation. And I don't know if any other, Quick may do this a little bit because they certainly do the demo account that you were talking about, the ability to do that and set up just having a demo account and be able to play with a live trial that's not connected to payments, obviously. But I mean, this is a great way for you to be able to engage with the merchant, get them to the poslead.com and put in the lead and get that demo. But they can play and interact with themselves without causing any damage to anyone else's accounts and have some fun. That is, I think, a great sales model to be able to allow the retailers to be able to play a little bit and get that confidence. Say, yeah, I could see myself using this, start envisioning themselves to be part of it. I think it's a great thing. And Matt, what did you say? When should they absolutely bring up Corona? When they're talking to a merchant who does this is even before they say, hey, because a lot of times we say, hey, just present yourself as a consultant, say you're going to walk with your POS experts, go over to the POS pros and walk through. But are there certain times you're like, man, go ahead and just bring up Corona, start this process, because this is going to be the system that's going to blow their mind?
You pretty much can't anytime. I mean, I like that, Nate. I like that question because even if you as the sales partner play around on their website for 10 minutes, I mean, you'll get so much information that it'll at least educate you enough to be able to talk to them. Now, we still obviously want to get them on a demo, but just looking at what they're doing and know if they need it. Now, obviously, there's still many, nuances that you won't think to ask. Invoicing is not something they do. And same thing, house accounts kind of work around. So, I mean, there are things that you'll obviously still need my team to make sure we're going through and looking at the right system. But if you see a Clover sitting there, you see, even just an old school, 50-inch screen, start that conversation. Have you ever heard of Corona POS? Not like, the beer, but, with a K, and get that conversation going. Because right now, Corona is international and we're blowing them up all over the country. But there are just so many retail systems out there. We're going to get Corona in your area so that people start to see it and know the name.
I like it. And
yeah, I'd say go ahead and start talking.
And what I like is if you go to YouTube and they have 36 videos on their YouTube channel that sets up a Corona POS tutorial. Go and check that out. Go actually watch those videos. Subscribe. They just put up their newest one, their 36th one was put up 2 days ago. So they're keeping it up to date, putting new tutorials. And what I also like, their time codes for those videos, 1:58, 2:54, 2:02, 3:46, 2:17, 2:32, 4:50. You're not spending your life and day trying to figure out how to do all these things. It's literally something I think that's pretty amazing. You can see all the list of the videos here. Man, I'm excited to see what our partners do with Corona POS. Next week, we're going to talk about how to sell to retail. So we'll kind of leave some of those questions because really we've talked about 3 great options: Retail Cloud, Greta, and Corona. You have a powerhouse 3 of retail POS solutions to go out and help any merchant across the United States. Matt, our closing words as we talked about Corona today. Any closing thoughts about Corona POS?
I got to throw a plug out here, guys. I'm really excited. I partner with my boy Till over at Corona, and this is a sneak peek. In the month of November and probably till the end of the year, we will have some pricing updates on our main bundle with Corona. So we'll be having a discounted bundle that we will talk about soon. So that's in place so that you can get those merchants signed before the holidays. Even if they don't want to install till after, it's great to be able to get them a good contract, have them sign, set up everything, let them play with the demo, like Nate said, and then they can do a full install once they get through the holidays. Some people get skittish and scared, around that holiday season. But we're doing this in November on purpose. So just a little plug there, a little sneak peek. We'll have discounted hardware on Corona. So that's exciting.
Yep. I think it's good. And especially some of those retails, don't be scared also to say, hey, let's get going and let's get going before the holiday season this year. If their POS sucks and they need loyalty, they need gift cards, they need things that are going to help them capitalize on what the fourth quarter is. You can watch our office hours recorded earlier today where we talk all about that. Go out and sell. We'll figure out how to even make sure that pricing, they get some of that early bird pricing. Don't just wait. No sandbagging here. We're going all in on making sure that merchants get the systems they need. And if you can board them right now, remember how much. The reason it's called Black Friday is because that's when they start going from the red to the black. That how much money is spent in the fourth quarter, and in election years, most of it is going to be spent between November, 5th, 6th, 7th, and the end of the year. The holiday season starts a little bit later, or the extra spending and the volume increase because it happened in 2020, it happened in 2016. We know that. Get those systems ready. Make sure you're maximizing not only what you're getting since that volume, but you're maximizing how you're helping your merchants. And now is the time. Get out there and go do it. Thank you, Matt Proctor. I'm Nate Manahan. We'll be on another POS Uncensored next week where we talk specifically a little more big picture, how to sell to retail, give you things that you can actually jump in and start conversations and get selling. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.